Once I have the stick figure drawn, I'll want to animate this with a frame by frame animation. That means that something is going to change in each frame. Right now, all we have is one frame, and you can see that it is a keyframe. There is a circle, a solid colored circle there, so it's showing that something is happening. And that something is simply that there is an item there. I'm going to zoom in so that I have a good, clear view of the stick figure's arm. And you can choose either arm to work with, it doesn't matter. I'm going to select all three parts of my arm by holding down the Shift key and clicking on it. First, I should have inserted a keyframe in frame number 2. And I do that by doing F6. And that's the up at the top row of your keyboard. F6 is the keyboard shortcut to insert a keyframe. You could also control click and choose insert keyframe there, but F6 is obviously quicker. So let me select just those three pieces again. I'm going to use my free transform tool, and notice that we have this little dot here. If I were to simply rotate this now, notice that it rotates around that dot. It's kind of like a pivot point or a joint. So if I want this arm to move at the shoulder, I would just need to move this little pivot point up so that it's rotating around that joint. And I'll move it just a little bit, because you only move a little bit at a time. Then I'm going to go to frame 3. I'm going to hit F6 again so I can insert another keyframe. I'll select all three pieces again. I'll move the joint, and I'll move this, rotate it a little bit more. And I'll continue with this until I get the arm where I want it to be. Now, once I have it there, this next time when I insert a keyframe, I'll probably just choose the bottom two parts and make the elbow the joint to rotate on. And I'll continue with just those two for a little while. Until I get the arm to where it is above my head. And you'll notice that I'm doing frame by frame. F6 to insert a keyframe. Shift to select more than one piece at a time. And you can notice that each time that I do move the arm, I'm moving it. Oops, that time, notice because it looks like one straight line here, it's selected that whole entire arm. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my selection tool, and I'm going to select, because this was a shape, it's going to allow me to select part of that. So here I will move the joint again, rotate it a little bit more. And now, because it's not a straight line, it's allowing me to select just part of it. Okay, now that I've got the hand, the arm and the hand above the head, I want just my hand to move now, like it's waving back and forth. So I'll do whoops, just the hand. And I might want to zoom in a little bit more make it easier for me to work with. Okay, and then I can go backwards because you don't just do one little wave with your hand, you always kind of go back and forth a couple of times. And you do have to make sure that it's just the hand that's selected here. And then once you get that second wave, there we go. Now we can start moving the arm back down. And we always know that things go down a little bit quicker than they go up. That's just the law of gravity. But you got to remember to insert your keyframe, and you got to remember to move your joint, your pivot point. I'm going to move it a little bit past that straight so that it doesn't select all of it again. Oops, let me insert keyframe. Do one more. And then I will use the whole arm. Let me zoom out some. Okay. Now, when you do your command return, see how your stick figure lifts its arm to wave, waves its hand, and brings it back down.